So I want to talk about something I found out in Africa, especially Nigeria. I remember those days when I used to be an athlete, and then I just finished schooling, and then I went into a club, an athletics club, because I love athletics. My events were 100 meters. I was a triple jumper, 100 and 200. So I love that sport so much that I had to go into a club. And then when I see people like Choma Ajoa on TV screen those days, I admire them. I was like, "Ah, I want to be like them. I want to be more than them, blah, blah, blah." But I found out that in Africa, especially in Nigeria, if a woman wants to actually develop her skills or talents, nobody is going to encourage you. Everybody is going to look at you like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be thinking about that. What you're supposed to be thinking of is how to get married and have kids and how to take care of your husband. That's the only thing they expect you to think about, especially when you're done with schooling. They're not even thinking of you working, having a skill, developing yourself and all that. Nobody's telling you to do that. They just want you to think of only marriage. So during my own the time I was into athletics, I remember I had to run out of my house and I joined an athletics club in Ogun State then. So then I used to have most of my colleagues then, like this Toby Amusa, she was one of my colleagues then. So we're training under the same coach. And I remember then within a short period of time, I started excelling, especially in local competitions. I was excelling, and I never knew those days that when you are excelling in sports, a sporting career like that, a lot of people will be envious and jealous of you. So as a female athlete, then I was like, okay, I am going to be the Olympic medalist. So those days I'm working hard to be an Olympic medalist. So anytime I come out, because I remember those days I used to, lack funds. Nobody was there to support me or even fund me. So then I'll meet some of my big uncles and talk to them. I say, this is what I do. Please, I will need money to support my career. And they just look at me. I'm like, this girl is wasting her time. Look at her. In fact, some of them will start yabbing me. Look at the way you're looking. You're looking so masculine. You don't have no more breasts. All your breasts is, and will a man see what to even enjoy himself with in your body? Look at how you're looking masculine. So, they end up discouraging me, and none of them were able to encourage me. Even most of my aunties those days, when I go to meet them, none of them were able to encourage me. So I was doing literally everything on my own. And that is how it is for a Nigerian girl who is like who wants to harness her talent. So nobody is going to encourage you. Everybody's going to look at you as if you're wasting your time. And that's why in Africa, in Nigeria, we don't really have females. We don't have much female athletes. We don't have female artists. We don't really have them much, except for those who are so lucky. Those ones that came out during the time of those days where it was easy for a woman to come out and do something. It's not like it was easy, but at least then the system was a bit okay. But right now the system is so bad that there's no good support for women in Africa. So, and then I remember then I wanted to be an international athlete. I did all my best, but there was no support. Even when after I had injury, nobody gave me money to treat myself. Only for my parents who were like, you're so stubborn. He left the house just because he wanted to go and do athletics, blah, blah, blah. And now you have issue now. They were the only ones who actually came to my support anyway. But even at the same time, they were still blaming me for going into athletics. So you can imagine. So that was my talent. And I really wanted to harness it. But there was nobody that supported me. Nobody encouraged me. Everybody was always discouraging me. I didn't see anybody that supported me in my sporting career, which was actually good. Nobody supported me, so I had to give up on my dreams as an athlete. And that's why when I see some of those athletes I used to do better than in those local competitions excelling, I feel good for them. I feel good for them that they're lucky because they had support. And like for this for example, Tobia Musa was pushed by her mother because her mother used to be an athlete, and her mother had the same a kind of similar experience with me. So she knew what she wanted for her daughter, and she pushed her daughter after she knew that her daughter had this talent. So I feel that African parents should do more. I don't think that everything is all about school. If you notice your child has a talent, why not you help to develop that child? I feel that's the best you can give to your child as an African parent. And you will be very grateful you did that. And that child will be grateful to you that you did that for him or her. So that's my little advice for African parents. we need to do more.